Impact of Paris on World Culture by Marcia Berry. Paris, France. Paris is the capital of France in northwestern Europe, and with a population a little over 2 million people. It has contributed far beyond its size to world culture in art, architecture, cuisine, fashion, literature, philosophy, and politics. Paris is situated along the Seine River in north central France, in an area of relatively flat topography that experiences 4 distinct seasons and has an oceanic climate. The influence of Paris on art. The influence of Paris on the rest of the world in art cannot be understated. Paris was the center of the Impressionist movement, with artists like Claude Monet, Edgar Degas, and Pierre-Auguste Renoir, transforming the world of art by moving away from the realistic depictions to capturing the light and atmosphere in their paintings. Some of the world's greatest art museums are also in Paris, displaying works from around the globe, including the world's most famous painting, the Mona Lisa, by Leonardo da Vinci. Architecture. The influence of Paris on the world's architecture is almost unequaled. Paris is home to iconic structures such as the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Paris was also home to important architecture movements including Art Nouveau and Modernism. Cuisine. Parisian food has had enormous influence on cuisine throughout the world, with cafe culture and cuisine such as steak frites, onion soup, quiche, croissants, souffle, and many other dishes influencing chefs in all corners of the globe. The influence of Paris on fashion. Paris Fashion Week is one of the most important events in fashion around the world, where designers showcase their latest collections to global audience and shape trends for seasons to come. Some of the world's most famous fashion houses are based in Paris, including Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Saint Laurent. Paris fashion, such as Christian Dior, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel. Parisian literature. Paris was the center of the Enlightenment in the late 18th century, where intellectuals like Voltaire, Rousseau, and Montesquieu promoted reason, individualism, and criticized the traditional power structure of kings ruling with absolute power. Modern contributions to literature. The contributions of Paris to literature did not end in 1800. Instead, many 20th century writers like Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Gertrude Stein formed the community of Lost Generation, authors that profoundly shaped modern American literature. Political and social influence. The French Revolution started in Paris in 1789 and had as much or more of an influence on global politics as the American Revolution a decade earlier. The ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity inspired the political movements and revolutions throughout the world in both the 19th and 20th centuries. The impact of Paris on Europe and the world. Paris has impacted Europe and the whole world through its influence on art, architecture, food, fashion, literature, and philosophy. There are very few, if any, cities the size of Paris that have had so much cultural influence on the world. Places around the world have imitated Parisian culture for hundreds of years, and to this day, culture of Paris influences places almost every corner of the globe. Why am I interested in presenting about Paris? I have been lucky enough to have been to Paris 3 times, and it is probably my favorite city in the whole world. Paris is the very first place in Europe I got to visit. I cannot think of a single place that has contributed so much to culture in every corner of the globe. Contemporary problems. Even though Paris is an amazing city, it is not without problems. Issues with crime, immigration, and overcrowding have affected Paris just like they have in most major cities in Europe. Future. Even though Paris is not a perfect place, it remains an icon of global culture, and Paris continues to play an important role in world affairs, including being home to the most significant worldwide conference about climate change in 2016 and hosting the Summer Olympic Games in 2024. Thank you for watching my presentation. Hope you enjoyed it.